The Blue Plate Special. We are live right here in downtown Knoxville. We've got two acts on the show today. Coming up in the second half of the show, we've got James Margolis. But right now, y'all give a big welcome to Todd Berry.
Great. Hello, everyone. Glad to be here. New to Knoxville, Tennessee. Just moved here from Indiana. This is an original song I wrote called She Made a Devil Out of Me. I met a girl, sweet as could be, and with a smile, she made a devil out of me. She was the devil, well in disguise. She claimed to be an angel with heaven in her eyes. She set out with her evil plan. That evil woman, she had maybe a man. She cast a spell, and now I'm through. What could I say? What could I do? She made a devil out of me. She stole my heart, ooh, put it to the test, and with love, that woman had me possessed. She had me down with her evil ways. That evil woman, she had me lost in a daze. She cast a spell, and now I'm through. What could I say? What could I do? She made a devil out of me. Met a girl, sweet as could be, and with a smile, she made a devil out of me. She made a devil out of me. Thank you. Appreciate it. If there's any Elvis Presley fans in here, I wrote this song about Elvis Presley. Well, now here's a little story about a man we all know. Born in Mississippi, a little town called Tupelo. He was born and raised in a two-room shack. Was a poor country boy they called the hillbilly cat. He loves his mama, his music too. Loved the gospel country, rhythm and blues. His parents bought him a guitar when he was 10 years old. Learned how to sing and play, man, the boy had some soul. The time he was 20, he was stealing the show. 3 to get ready, to go cat go. A one-of-a-kind, a legend in his own time. TCB, well that was his line, just called him Elvis. He is a king, oh you know what I mean, just call him Elvis. Well the likes this world ain't seen. Well, the women that loved him always chased him around to the Heartbreak Hotel at the edge of town. Love me tender, baby, love me true. Well, don't step on my blue suede shoes. It was the wildest thing in history. Well, that's alright, mama, that's alright with me. Just call him Elvis. He's a king. Well, you know what I mean. Just call him Elvis. Well, the likes this world ain't seen. Oh. Well, he made his mark, and now the king is gone. But he's not dead, the music still lives on. Through the young and the old, well, it's all the same. We all know the king by name. But Graceland helped to do his part, and now he lives within our hearts. Just call him Elvis. He is a king. Well, you know what I mean. Just call him Elvis. Well, the likes this world ain't seen. He's alright, sweet mama. He's alright with me. Thank you. Appreciate it.
That's Todd Barry on the WDVX Blue Plate Special. Welcome to the show. It's your first time here?
Yes, glad to be here.
Well, good. Well, you know, people got a little flavor from that last song of something else you do besides singing your own songs.
Yes.
That you're doing today, which is that you are an Elvis impersonator.
Yep.
And to talk a little bit about that, because it's a big part of your life,
Right.
because it's not just about the Elvis impersonation. You do other stuff with booking tribute acts and so forth. So talk about that a little bit.
Well, like I said, I've been doing Elvis since I was 10 years old. Actually played in Las Vegas for 3 years of my life. And still go out and do tribute shows for special events, festivals, fairs, casinos, different types of places, and have a great time bringing back the memory of Elvis, but try to be myself at the same time.
All right, and then you also impersonate somebody else as well, right?
Garth Brooks and Buddy Holly.
So you do a Garth Brooks show and a Buddy Holly show. Cool.
Yeah.
And then it sounds like you have an agency that works with other artists that do tribute shows,
Yes,
too.
I book lots of other tribute performers, and there's one present. She's actually a Patsy Cline impersonator right here. This is Willa over here sitting here. And she does Shania Twain as well, so we do go out and do shows, and that's how we met.
All right, very nice. That's what brought you to Knoxville, is
Yes,
my understanding.
correct.
Yeah. So how did you get into doing that?
Well, due to the fact I was born legally blind, so I can't do another job, so all I can do is go out and sing and perform, so that's all I do for a living every single day. I go to different corporate events and festivals, fairs, as well as retirement communities, and I do shows for them. And that's how I make my living, just go all over the country. We travel back and forth, actually, to Ohio and Indiana, and then back here, so glad to be here doing what I'm doing for you guys today.
All right, and if people want to keep up with what you're doing or are interested in any of the acts that you have to offer, your website, toddbarryonline.com, right?
Yes.
That's a good place to get hold of. You also have some music of your own released and out there on streaming platforms?
Yeah, I'm on Spotify and iTunes as well.
Okay. Well, very, very good. Well, you had a short set planned for us today, so we're going to get one more song from you, is that right?
Yeah, I can do one more.
Okay.
Let's see here. We'll take you back to a country song here back in the 90s. This was a singer that was popular, Keith Whitley. I know you loved him a long time ago. even now in my arms. You still want him, I know. But darling, this time, let your memories die. Will you hold me tonight? Don't close your eyes. Don't close your eyes. Let it be me. And don't pretend it's him in some fantasy. Darling, just once, let yesterday go. You'll find more love than you've ever known. Just hold me tight, love me tonight. Don't close your eyes. Don't close your eyes. Let it be me. Don't pretend it's him in some fantasy. Darling, just once, let yesterday go. You'll find more love than you ever know. Just hold me tight when you love me tonight. Don't close your eyes. Just hold me tight when you love me tonight. Don't close your eyes. Thank you. Don't close your eyes.
That's Todd Berry on the WDVX Blue Plate Special. We're going to switch the stage over for our next act. While we do that, I got a couple of things to tell you. First, some folks to thank. The WDVX Blue Plate Special is presented by Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria on Jackson Avenue in Knoxville's Old City, home of the Big Plate on Fridays, and by Modelo Especial and Corona Extra. Coming up on the Big Plate this Friday, we've got the Scott Southworth Band. You can always check out the WDVX website, WDVX.com, for our calendar of events. We always have a lot of live shows coming up. A week from this Friday is the first Friday of June, and we have a special First Friday show that's kind of like a Big Plate special, but at 6 p.m. right here on this stage. And we have Kelsey Walker joining us for our next one on June 6th with host Daniel Flewitt. On the second Saturday of each month, we have a show for kids. It's called Kids Stuff Live. Well, the show happens every week, but it's live with an audience the second Saturday with host Sarah Perkle, and that one, the next one of those that'll be coming up is June 14th. WDVX Summer Nights on June 11th with Jim Lauderdale and the Game Changers plus Tidal Wave Road. Yeah, and then going forward, June 21st, ONRNL Summer Sessions at Bissell Park in Oak Ridge with Eric Baker and the Young Fables. I think we're ready to go, so I'll tell you to find details about all of that at WDVX.com. Well, this next fella's been traveling all over the country for the last 6 months. We're kind of towards the end of a tour he's been doing to promote a new album of his. We'll get to talking about that in just a few minutes. But you all give a big welcome to James Margolis.
Don't know if we'll make it to the next charging station, 'cause I've got those vehicle blues. Got that range anxiety So we're just gonna drive at a real low speed, 'cause I got those vehicle blues. If it rains, if it pours, that's gonna drain the battery more. That's part of these vehicle blues. If it gets cold, we gotta turn on the heat. That'll also drain the battery. So I got those vehicle blues. When we go down to Baltimore, might have to crash on your floor, 'cause I got those vehicle blues. Might even make it to DC, maybe. We'll have to see, 'cause I got those vehicle blues. Least amount hurting the environment. I hate the damage I've already done with those internal combustion engine cars. Now I can cruise anywhere I choose without worrying about the air pollution. That's part of these vehicle blues. 10-hour trip in a regular car, taking about 15 hours so far. That's just something you gotta get used to. Gotta plan accordingly, route your trip around charging. That's part of these vehicle blues. 50 miles to go, got 100 miles of range. I hope these conditions stay the same. All the sun range gets cut in half. Don't know if we'll make it back, and that's part of these vehicle blues. Might be able to charge for free, depending on which station you're going to. Which application will you choose? But if and when you fall asleep, watch out for those idling fees. That's part of these vehicle blues. Thank you so much. All right. As he said, my name is James Margolis, and I've been traveling around this country for 6 months now, roundabout. And I was supposed to play this show in October last year, but the morning of the show I got pink eye, so I had to cancel. So this is kind of the redemption show, if you will. But I'm doing the whole tour in an electric car, so that song is based on real life experience. But it's based on an old song called Deep River Blues, which I learned from Doc Watson. Anyway, should I do another? Okay. On the banks of the Schuylkill River, we did play and smoke a lot of weed, and we sat under the highway, and we crossed the abandoned train track bridge. I remember seeing Kermit the Frog graffitied on the wall, It's not easy being green, written up above, and spray paint as far as the eye could see. We would spend Friday nights walking down the tracks. We'll never get those times back. On the banks of the Schuylkill River, we did play and smoke a lot of weed. Go into Manioc, go down to Main Street Music, spend a couple hours looking at records. We took your sister's car before we had licenses, and then it got stolen while we were eating pizza, and then we picked it up on the banks. We gave the guy cash, and he handed us the keys. And I remember thinking, damn, that was too easy. On the banks of the Schuylkill River, which is green with all that duckweed. And those train tracks are now a bike trail. At least it didn't catch fire like the Cuyahoga. On the banks of the Schuylkill River, we did play and smoke a lot of weed. Cruise down to the Platte, smoke a couple grape Dutches, look up at the police helicopter.
That's James Margolis on the WDVX Blue Plate Special. Well, we've got another first-timer here. Both acts today, first time on the show. Welcome. Appreciate having you. So you're wearing some finger picks on your fingers there. We get a lot of folks with finger picks playing the banjo through here,
Right.
but not so often playing the guitar. It's a style that I'm a little bit curious for you to talk about where you got and where you learned it. You already mentioned one person who influenced you. You can come back around to him, but to talk a little bit about how you learned this style and why you play it.
Well, I use the finger picks because I used to play with the raw fingers, and they used to get torn up, man. Like my thumb would start bleeding, and the nail would be all nasty, and so I started getting used to these, and it took a while, but I finally got used to them, So my fingers aren't hurting anymore.
Well, who are some of the people who kind of influenced you to do the finger-style guitar, picks or not?
Yeah, I think a big influence was Skip James and Dave Van Ronk. When I moved to New York back in 2012, it's like palpable, the energy from the Greenwich Village folk scene, and he was kind of like the Mac Daddy of that scene, and I found like it was incredible his playing. You know, his finger picking was just astounding. It was like a revelation for me. You know, so I kind of like learned a bunch of stuff that he did.
And you told me that you got into Skip James even earlier than that. I mean,
Yeah.
why did a kid from Philly get interested in Skip James?
Oddly enough, he's buried in my hometown of Ballackinwood, Pennsylvania, which is on the outskirts of West Philly. But me and my friend listened to him a lot when we were like 16, or like 14, 15. There's a guy named Pat Wichter. He used to come. He played the Philadelphia Folk Fest and stuff, but he used to play Hard Time Killing Floor Blues, and we got real into Skip James and that kind of Delta blues and electric blues and stuff. But Skip James particularly because over pandemic lockdown, me and that same friend would be on FaceTime shedding Skip James songs, just guitars in hand, you know. And that was the first time I'd really like learned a bunch of Skip James stuff.
All right, and then of course all of those things led you to Doc Watson eventually as well, and you played your first song was based on the music of a Doc Watson tune there.
Yeah.
So we love Doc Watson here on the other side of the mountains from where he's from over in North Carolina for sure. So that very first song, you were singing about traveling around in your EV car, and you've made a whole YouTube series about that trip. Talk about that a little bit.
Yes, I'm still technically making that series, but it takes a long time to edit. So the episodes took a little more time than I thought they would, but I'm at episode 7 now, and I'm covering each week of this tour, covering like charging, like where I'm charging, where the shows are, you know. If you want to see concert footage, you got to come to one of the shows, but, you know, because there's not as much like actual show footage. It's mostly just like
So this is behind the scenes,
yeah,
right?
like a travel blog type thing.
I see. All right. And so the album that you've been touring, talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I just released an album of all original songs that I engineered and produced myself. I got my friend to master it, but I mixed it. I'm very proud of it. It's 9 songs. It's called Civilian Air. And it's funny, like, the name came about when I saw a graffiti that said Civil Unrest, and I read it as Civilian Air. And I was like, huh, that would be a good album name.
Do you have a song titled that?
No.
No.
Not yet.
Not yet. That's next. Yeah. All right. Well, you going to play any stuff off that new record, or anything you've played off of it?
I probably should. I was planning on it, but I'd have to detune, which
Oh.
I kind of don't really want to do.
Well, that's all right. People can go listen. All your music is out there in streaming land, and you also, do you have physical copies as well?
Yeah, I have cassette tapes, which I made myself with my own 2 hands, and my parents' tape deck from the 70s. But yeah, that's the only thing that I'm making. I'm not pressing vinyl. It's so expensive.
It is.
So
You're very of your generation. You have this interesting mix of kind of real technical or techie kind of stuff that you do, the YouTube and all of that, but then you play this old folk style guitar on acoustic instrument, and you're making your recordings on cassette tapes, and yeah, you're very, I guess you're Gen Z, right? Are you Gen Z or are you on the line? I don't know how old you are.
I think I'm millennial, but I'm pretty close to the line.
Right on the line somewhere there, yeah. Well, at any rate. Well, what else you got for us?
I got another song that's not on the album, but I can play some album cuts. Yeah. So maybe I'll play the first song off the album. So grateful my life could be so much worse. I'm so grateful my life could be so much worse. I could be cold, dead, and alone, locked up inside a hearse. Never been so grateful for my breath before. Never been so grateful for my breath before. When I was locked down with COVID, heard death knocking at my door. Eternally grateful is how I like to stay. Eternally grateful is how I like to remain. A lot of people don't know how good they have it, that's all I'm trying to say. Thank you. Yeah, that's the first song off the album. Sounds a little different because on the album there's trombone and clarinet. Because I was very inspired by Bessie Smith and namely her recording of Backwater Blues. So I was kind of going for that kind of vibe. But here's a newer song that is not on the album. I think I'm going to record it soon. Been my best friend since about the age of 3. He is Cherokee. They weren't on the rolls. They never got on the rolls. Though they did walk along the trail of tears. He is Cherokee. They somehow got estranged. They somehow got estranged. Somebody died and so many did not make it. They somehow got estranged. But they made it to Oklahoma. They made it to Oklahoma. So far away, but they had to make it their new home. They made it to Oklahoma. Kill the Indian, save the man. The U.S. government said, kill the Indian, save the man. Remove them from their own culture. That was always part of the plan. Kill the Indian, save the man. So they lived outside the reservation. They lived outside the reservation. Didn't have the proper government identification, so they lived outside the reservation. But he is Cherokee. He is Salagi. May not have the white man's beloved paper ID, but he is Cherokee. Thank you. All right. Cool. So, all right. Let me take off 2 of the finger picks for this one. Because those kind of hurt the fingers sometimes too. Okay. So I wrote a talking blues also. And I'd like to play you that one. It's also not on the album. But you can find the album at jamesmargolis.bandcamp.com or on Spotify or YouTube or Apple Music or your preferred streaming service. But this song is not on there. So I was driving down the road one day, and I was the only car on the highway when a cop siren started blaring in my rear view. So I went to the side of the road, and I pulled over. Cop said I didn't have my headlights on. I said, that explains a lot. Gave me the old field sobriety test, which was really for drinking, and determined that I was not best to drive. And I was thinking, isn't weed legal in Michigan? But apparently driving high is not. So he threw me into the jail cell with 14 other dudes in there as well, and only about 10 beds. Busy weekend. Needless to say, some of us were sleeping on the floor, using our sandals as pillows. It was a regular sandals resort, you could say. Eventually, on day 3, I was suspect if I'd ever get free. I was really worried because I was supposed to play Yankee Stadium at the Hard Rock Cafe there with my friend Michelangelo, but I haven't memorized his phone number, so I just called nobody. Little did I know, Allie filed a missing persons report, and people were on the search for me and wouldn't stop until I was free. Mikey, Josh, Michelangelo, Melinda, my mom and dad. People thought I was dead. Eventually they called me in and I was free again. Turns out mom had paid my bail of $100. There I was, finally free of Muskegon County Jail. They never did my paperwork. That's why I never saw a judge, because, and I quote, Montague is a podunk hick town, is what the guard told me. And that's verbatim. Had to go back and do some classes, some legal. The rest of it, played a couple more shows, met some cool folks. Had a weird time there in Michigan. Interesting place. I remember a fellow inmate saying that if he'd gone to Muskegon County first, maybe he would have made it a point not to go back to jail. At least in Detroit, they give you chicken.
That's James Margolis on the WDVX Blue Plate Special. We're going to get one more song from him. But before we do that, let's have another big hand for our first act, Todd Berry. And I want to thank you all for hanging out with us today, and all of you folks who are out there listening on the radio or watching the video. Always remember that if you can't make it in, you can listen on the radio, and we also stream it live on Facebook and YouTube, so you can find the Blue Plate Special, both of those places as well. Well, what you got for us?
All right, well, this is the last track on the album. Don't you trust me till you see me? 'Cause a wise man once told me, believe none of what you hear and only half of what you see. Don't let your loyalty become slavery, even if it's really who you want to be. Don't you dare trust me, because I'm the only one who can see 'neath the webs of lies between your pretty eyes, beyond what you try to hide. So now that you see me and you think you know me well, you should know I'm always changing. What's in my mind I can hardly tell. This is your warning to be more cunning. Tap into your sensitivities. See how to be free, and baby, maybe you can trust me. Thank you.
That's James Margolis on the WDVX Blue Plate Special. I hope you'll join us next time for more real live music, but right now I'm going to send it back into the studio.